Okay, so Alexi Pappas, top American here today. You said after the race to me you wanted it, that last finishing stretch with Liz. You know, can you walk me through that finish?
Yeah, I did. Today I wanted top American, you know, as much as I've ever wanted anything. And so, you know, Coach Ian and I talked yesterday a little bit about a race plan, and this season I've been practicing, you know, the 10K. I did my first 10K on the track, so that's different from my beach to beacon experiences in past years where I'd never done one on the track, and so I feel like I had a different perspective going into this. But also this year, I've been practicing like leading and taking a lot of initiative in a lot of races, and today I didn't actually lead the race for most of it, and one of the major things about the end of the race was that my host family, the Laytons, and we actually walked that last bit. There's a park that you enter, and there's this whole, you know, it's actually like more than a half mile, I think, left in the race when you enter this park. And in past years, I really didn't do anything but race it. And this year, I was like, you know what, I want to walk it because visualization is a really big thing for me before races. And so I walked it yesterday with my host sister, Laura, and I really took it in and took it pretty seriously, so that when I got to the certain point in the race, Liz passed me, and I've never beat Laura or Liz in a race, and I admire them a ton, but I knew at that point, I was like, okay, I don't want to get third, so I was stuck in between. And then when I got to this point, I think it was like maybe 400 meters left, I was like, Alexi, like, you can run 400. And I remembered these physical cues that Coach and I have, where when you mentally feel not tough, I rely on these physical cues. So it was like pump your arms, pick your knees up, like keep picking your legs up as much as you can, like a little robot. And like, so I just like pumped as hard as I could, and I knew that I would not regret putting everything into that like last, you know, I guess it felt like 20 seconds. It had to be not too long before the finish that I passed Liz, but it was one thing where I felt brave, and I feel like I surprised myself because I've never been that like kicker before, and I want to be, and I wanted it.
When exactly did she pass you?
So Liz, I think it was about 1,200 meters ago, Liz started to pull away from Laura, and I tried to stay with Liz, but I felt like she had a lot. She's a strong runner. She's really, and she's passionate. So like, she was really pulling away on that. When you enter the park, there's it was before we entered the park that Liz started to pull away, and I was like, Alexi, like, you want this, and it's not that much left. So hold on. And then when we started to go up the hill, I think I passed her, and then she passed me, so she was leading when we hit the 6 mile mark, and I just didn't want to get third, and then I realized that I could get first. So yeah. And
were you two guys all together for like most of the race?
Oh yeah, the whole race it was me, Laura, and Liz, and you know, we were like a lot. The Beach to Beacon has a way of catching up to you in the second half, and like we could see Gemma, like we could see the front pack, I think like most of the race, especially Gemma, and part of me was like, man, maybe this whole American pack can go after her. We didn't quite get there. I think I finished a second behind Gemma, but I think that's a whole minute closer to her than I was last year, so it's progress for me, you know?
I mean, last year you were still sort of lining the 10K at this point, but now you've got full track season on your belt, you know, this road race, Top American today, great job. And, do you feel like you've become a lot more comfortable with the event?
Yeah, you know, I think the 10K, you know, Beach to Beacon has been my 10K education in a lot of ways. I ran my first 10K here behind Dean Castor, you know, one of my role models, met Joni here, and to move onto the track, I felt like I finally found my event that I want to train for 2016, and that's the 10K, and so to really own it on both the track and the roads makes coming back from the track to the roads a lot more, it feels like I'm in my world or something finally. It's awesome.
Alexi, where will you be racing next?
So I'm gonna go back to Eugene and then come back and race Falmouth and finish up my season that way, and also finish up the film I'm working on. So August will be a really good, last couple races. Wrap up that and then chill out for a little bit and get ready for fall.
What are your goals for Falmouth? Are you looking top American or really be competitive up front?
Be competitive. Like again, I think both Beach to Beacon and Falmouth have American women in it that I really like. I've never beat, and I really admire, and just to kind of feel like I belong there and putting myself there is a new experience for me, and I want to keep doing it. I did it at USA's, and like I think every race you put yourself up there, you put yourself in a position to surprise yourself. And so that's what I did today, and it means a lot to be here. And I can see Joni right now, and like, God, that woman is like, she gives me the time of day. Like she believes in me, and she always has. And I think that permission is like, it's like permission to believe in myself. And so I think she'll be there at Falmouth, and I'm gonna have fun with it, but I always come to compete. Like I don't travel across the country not to race. Like we travel to show up. So I always show up.
All right. Nice job.
Thank you.